Very often on this channel, we talk about names and why they're so important and why just the name of your band it means so much. You know, it may seem like a little thing, but it's so important. You can't put a price on how important it is. And I say that to say because today we're reacting to a brand new band. We're on a new journey. And the name of this band is called the Sex Pistols. I gotta be honest with you. That's one of the best rock and roll names for any band ever. It really is. It's up there with Guns N' Roses. It's up there with, what are some of my favorites? Limp Bizkit. It's up there with Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath. It's one hell of a name. I'm somewhat familiar with the Sex Pistols. I remember the reference in the School of Rock. I do know about Sid Vicious. I'm familiar with his story and his legacy. And that's about it. From a music standpoint, I don't think I've ever sat down and heard a full song. I think I may have heard like a bit of, some songs in passing, but I never really heard any song. This song is called God Save the Queen. That's a phenomenal name, and I do know that's not the name. I don't want to sit here and say something stupid, but that is like the name of. Hold on, because I don't want to call it the wrong thing and get in trouble. God Save the Queen. Where does that song come? It's the national anthem. Oh, the King. The King. Oh. I don't know why I thought it was God Save the Queen was the national anthem. So it's the King. I'm sorry. But it's also God Save the Queen, where the British monarch is a female. Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to assume it's some sort of mockery of that. But either way, I'm really excited to hear this and see this. Because this is our first reaction to him, we got to do some research. Sex Pistols. I mean, I love this name. I can't even sit here and lie to you. I really do. The Sex Pistols were an English punk rock band formed in London in 1975. Although their initial career lasted just 2.5 years, they were one of the most culturally influential acts in popular music. The band initiated the punk movement in the United Kingdom and inspired many later punk, post-punk, and alternative rock musicians, while their clothing and hairstyles were a significant influence on punk image. You got Paul Cook, Glenn Matlock, Johnny Rotten, and Steve Jones. Where's Sid? Did I miss something? Okay, I see Sid and past members. Where is he? Okay, anyway. They were signed to EMI, A&M, Virgin, Universal, and Warner Brothers. All big names. Oh, Sid replaced Matlock. Gotcha. In early 1977. Gotcha. Under the management of Malcolm McLaren, they generated widespread media controversies, bringing them to attention of the mainstream British press. They swore live on air during a 1976 television interview, while the lyrics of their May 1977 single God Save the Queen described the monarchy as a fascist regime, instantly popularizing punk rock in the UK. God Save the Queen was banned by the BBC and nearly every independent radio station in Britain, making it one of the most censored records in British history. Now, I usually talk about how I don't like censoring of artists and their creations and their music. I gotta say, I can't really disagree. Y'all know I hate the system. I hate agreeing with anything from the system. I don't like how, especially the BBC, after learning what they did to the Cranberries on zombies and the BBC, I'm starting to grow a really it's a bad taste in my mouth for them. But anyway, we got to be honest. If you're going to name your record after the national anthem, and it in any way, shape, or form makes a mockery out of our national anthem, I could see that being banned. I could see where they're coming from. I can't really go against that. I can't. That's hilarious, though. The Sex Pistols have been recognized as highly influential band. In 2004, Rolling Stone placed them as number 58 on the list of 100 greatest artists of all time. And on February 24th, 2006, the Sex Pistols, the four original members plus Vicious, were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, although they refused to attend the ceremony, calling the museum a piss stain. That's amazing. That's rock and roll at its finest. All right, man. I'm really excited to hear and see this. God Save the Queen. Oh, look at the art cover. It's the Queen, but she has God Save the Queen over her eyes and over them. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can y'all see that? That is hilarious. Oh, man. This is going to be great. I'm ready for this. The Sex Pistols. God Save the Queen. I'm intrigued enough. Let's go.
You thought you'd gotten rid of us, didn't you? But you were wrong, old bean. 'Cause we're back with a vengeance.
God save the Queen, my son. Potential
So when it talks about their influence, a lot of those hairstyles, the like black, is it eyeshadow? I think that's eyeshadow. Around the eyes, all of that is still prevalent in punk rock culture. I actually saw funny story. I actually saw somebody dressed similar to some of the women that I see in this video recently, just walking down the street, and I was like, it's so like you can't miss it. You know what I mean? But it's like just to see it in person and to know that the youth still. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. But yeah. Anyway, the music, it sounds in reference to more modern bands. I hear Green Day. I can't really think of anybody else, but Green Day I definitely hear. Just that punk rock, not really vocalist, but just like just that chant and just a real loud guitar. I think this is what a lot of people envision when they think of rock and roll. Not knowing that it's so many different genres, but I think this is what a lot of people make a mockery of in rock and roll. But I'm not gonna lie, musically punk rock and some fashion elements to punk rock, because I can't say, I don't know if what's the chain that you hang on your waistline that you connect to the loops. I know does that come from punk rock? I know that used to be a thing. I know the belts, a lot of the belts that you see in the punk rock culture, that used to be really popular. So a lot of things from punk rock I thoroughly enjoy. And but for the song itself, the fact that he's basically just talking shit about his own country and the Queen is hilarious. It's hilarious. I mean, she's not all that she seems. God save her. God save. So please save her. The capital. The tourist is literally just money for her, and she just enjoying every second of it. Like, wow. Like, it's literally a diss song to the Queen of England. Like, that's crazy.
The Sex Pistols' current record, God Save the Queen, is at #1 of the Capitol Hitline today, but the IBA, which administers the Broadcasting Act, has advised us that particularly at this time, this record is likely to cause offense to a number of our listeners, and have asked us not to play it in our normal programming. However, We will be playing this record with the authorities' approval at 7:30 p.m. tonight on Brian Wolf's Open Line, and will welcome your views about the punk rock phenomena which this is part of.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That, again, is the epitome of rock and roll. Just speaking what's on your mind, talking about what's going on. And, I mean, but to do it against... I can only imagine. And, of course, it happens all the time. You know, if I were to make any reference, it would be mostly hip-hop. But plenty, you know, people, you have a right to say what you want to say about the leader of your country, or at least in most countries. Of course, in a lot of countries, that's not true at all. But just to just say those things about the Queen, that's just hilarious to me. That's hilarious to me. And I want to know, how did this song do commercially? Because we all know it was a big hit in regards to the youth. And let's be honest, when it comes to rock and roll, hip hop, and a lot of genres, is rooted in the youth. So if you have the youth, you're good to go. And if we saw nothing else from this music video, which was phenomenal, by the way, the youth of Britain loved them. They epitomized the youth. They represented the youth. So that was really... I'm kind of at a loss for words. It's really amazing just to see them. Because, again, I think a lot of people speak down on punk rock. And it's just kids, you know, just trying to have a good time, let loose. Sure, can it be a little crazy? I saw some things. I mean, that grabbing by the neck thing, I saw a couple times, and like shaking people. That was crazy. Of course, you got mosh pits. That's cool. I think I saw the head bang at one point, like a headbutt. That's a little much. I ain't gonna lie. But again, it's just kids being kids. Leave them alone. Police coming in the party, messing it up. I'm sure things were getting broken and things like that, so I understand. But, you know, it's like, just let the kids be kids. But anyway, let me see how this song did commercially. Virgin A&M Records. The original title for the song was No Future, with the lyrics themselves being a general expression of the band's view of the monarchy or any individual or establishment commanding general obligation. The song reached number 1 on NME charts in the UK and made it to number 2 on the official UK singles charts. Wow. So even with the kind of blackballing of the record, there was no stopping it. It was just too big of a song. But I do see right under it says, this led to accusations by some that the charts had been fixed to prevent the song from being number 1. But I'm not gonna lie, we've seen in some of the songs that we reacted to on this channel where you had a big hit, where everybody loves it, the crowd loves it, the people love it, everybody loves it, but for whatever reason it gets blackballed, or it gets, you know, it doesn't get its just due, and it ends up being maybe in the 40s, 50s. Some songs don't even reach the charts at all. So the fact that this was number 2, when where did it say? It said no independent. Wait, let me go back to what it said. it said it was banned by the BBC in nearly every independent radio station in Britain. It was banned. I mean, and still number 2. That says a lot. That says a lot. Listen, man. I'm familiar with the story of Sid Vicious. I know what happens to him. I know how crazy these boys were. I mean, you could kind of just tell from the video. But it's really sad to know, how everything went. And, it's... I think this is the side of rock. Because, again, all of these bands, I mean, literally almost every single one that we reacted to, with the exception of a few, they got their vices. You got those 1 or 2 people in the van. Like, kind of everybody kind of does something. But you got the 1 or 2 that kind of just get addicted or, continue to rely on some of these substances, and they just die. But only 2 years into it, like, that's kind of, and I know, again, before he died, I mean, he was dealing with legal trouble and, everything. But I don't know, man. It's just, it's insane when you think about how crazy rock and roll can be, but also how fun it can be. And, that's a matter of perspective. But I enjoyed this music video and this song. Again, nothing really stood out instrumentation wise, vocally, but the message and the freedom of expression, I think that's what really makes them influential, at least in my first song that I reacted to by them. Just that freedom, that freedom of expression and just doing what we want. I appreciate that. As y'all notice, I appreciate and respect anything that's against the system. I appreciate and respect anybody who voices their opinion, regardless of the ramifications. And the fact that these guys at a young age knew, the fuck y'all gonna do? You can't stop us. This rock and roll. Do your worst. We gonna keep doing our thing. I love that. I respect that. Salute to the Sex Pistols. That's how I'm gonna end this video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Definitely request and recommend more from the Sex Pistols. I definitely want to learn more about them and hear more music from them. So do that for me. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, peace.